The garbage man stopped me in the driveway. He didn't smile, didn't blink, just held my eyes the way predators do when they know you won't move first. "You need to leave this house before it happens," he said quietly. "Tonight." The words hit harder than I expected. He wasn't joking. "Who are you?" I asked. He lifted his shirt. What I saw wasn't a body. It was a warning. Scars. A tattoo I recognized but wished I didn't. The same symbol I'd once seen in a police file when a local gang leader vanished without a trace. Then he leaned closer, his breath sharp against my ear. "Don't tell anything to your wife." And he walked away, leaving me standing in the driveway, the weight of his words lodged like glass in my chest. That night, I sat across from her at dinner. She smiled too easily, too polished. She asked about my day, poured the wine, and talked about the neighbors as if nothing in our world was collapsing. But her phone buzzed. Once, twice. She silenced it without looking. I knew the rhythm of that avoidance. I'd seen it before in other men, other lives. The little delays, the slight turn of the wrist to shield the screen. I studied her face. The same face I had loved for years. The same lips that had whispered trust into my ear countless nights. But now I could see it. Hollowness behind the smile. The garbage man's words replayed in my head. "Don't tell anything to your wife." He knew something, and so did I. I didn't eat, I didn't speak. I just watched the shadows move across her face while she talked about nothing. And I wondered how long she had been preparing this lie. The next day I began quietly pulling threads. Her phone records, hours logged against numbers not saved in her contacts, long gaps in her work trips, receipts that didn't match the story she told. Patterns emerged. Always the same number, always the same street. I drove there one night, parked far enough away to watch. A townhouse, his car in the driveway. The garbage man's warning echoing like thunder under my ribs. I didn't knock, I didn't confront, I simply memorized. At home, I looked at her differently. When she leaned against me, I felt the falseness in her weight. When she kissed me goodnight, I tasted someone else's ghost on her lips. Every lie was suddenly visible. Every truth she thought she buried pulsed in the silence between us. I moved carefully, deliberately. The test was next. DNA. Not for me, for our son. A week later, the envelope arrived. My hands didn't shake when I opened it. My chest didn't tighten. It was clean, brutal, 0%. I waited until she returned from her meeting. She dropped her bag by the door, her face lit by practiced innocence. She kissed me, asked about dinner, moved through the house as though she still belonged here. I sat at the table, placed the envelope in front of me. "Open it," I said. She froze. Then she did. Her face broke in stages. Confusion, realization, collapse. Her lips parted, but no sound came. Finally, she whispered, "Please, let me explain." I leaned forward, voice steady, almost gentle. "No, just tell me his name." The silence was her confession. I didn't need it spoken. I slid my phone across the table. On the screen was a photo, her lover, the same man, the same symbol carved into his skin, the symbol I'd seen etched into the garbage man's chest. Her hand shook as she pushed the phone away, her eyes wide, desperate. "You already knew," she whispered. I nodded once, calm, detached. And so does he. I told her about the driveway, about the warning, about the scarred man who carried her secret like a loaded gun. Her tears spilled fast, messy, uncontrolled. "What are you going to do?" she asked. I stood, looked down at her as if she were already gone. "Nothing. You've already done it for me." She left that night. Not because I told her to, because she couldn't stand the silence that followed her everywhere she moved in the house. The silence was heavier than chains. I stayed, sat in the dark, listened to the emptiness breathe. There was no rage left, no grief, only precision. She had lied, betrayed, created a child with a man who threatened shadows into my life. Now she lived with her choices. The garbage man had marked her fate long before I ever opened that envelope. And me? I had clarity. Clarity sharper than revenge, colder than forgiveness. The truth didn't shatter me. It carved me clean. And when the carving is done, you're no longer human. You're untouchable.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.